Among the people receiving their first Emmy nominations this year is Michelle Radow. She was the makeup department head on Sharp Objects. I'm Zach Laws of Gold Derby, and joining me now is Miss Michelle Radow. Michelle, let me ask you first of all, was this something that you were expecting at all? I mean, how did you get the news about your Emmy nomination?
No, I was not expecting this at all, Zach. I got a phone call the morning of, and I had never dreamed of this in a million years. I took Sharp Objects. I wanted to work with Jean-Marc, and I just thought it was an exciting project, and my team was excited, and we just wanted to do the work and be a part of the show.
Well, certainly the show was immensely popular with Emmy voters overall. I mean, nominations for Best Series, and of course, Amy Adams and Patricia Clarkson. So I'm sure that that had a little bit of to do with your good luck. Tell us a little bit just about, so you designed the individual character looks for everybody except for Amy Adams's character. Talk a bit about just what your general ideas were for the overall aesthetic of the show.
Sure. The overall feeling that I think I wanted everyone to have with these characters, I just wanted the makeup to help bring the audience right into these characters. Like the sweat, the grime, it was a hot place, wind gap. Jean-Marc really helped me bring that vision in with, you know, everyone should be sweaty and always look uncomfortable, and Vickery always had like he had been in the sun, and Detective Willis was always sweating, and when we were in Censor's bar, like every single background person was seen, you know, everybody had sweat and bloodshot eyes, and like they had been drinking in dark circles. It was, Wind Gap was a, you know, a little bit of a depressing place, a little bit behind the times. I wanted you to be able to feel that in these characters, each one that we designed. Elizabeth Perkins, who played Jackie, my key, Aaron Rosenman, took care of her, and some of the little details. I love all the little details with the characters, and some of the things that we did with her was, it was Elizabeth's, she suggested maybe my eyelashes should be a little crooked, and we were like, yeah, so if you look really close, her eyelashes are often like askew or off the line of, you know, where they should be, because she's a drunk and a pill popper, and her blush was often like too heavy and placed in a little bit higher than it should be. And so we did a lot of little details and fun things like that with the characters.
I think it's interesting. I mean, there's certainly a naturalism to the looks. You know, I mean, there's no heavy, you know, alien prosthetics or anything like that. Talk a little bit just about, I guess, capturing a certain kind of naturalism. I mean, that's what Jean-Marc Vallée does in his films overall. I mean, how do you help contribute to something like that?
Yeah, it's challenging. It's something that sometimes can be often layers and layers of makeup, but you don't want to see it. It's more like you want to feel it in the character. So, you know, with the kids, they were always dirty and sunburned, and a lot of, like young Camille did a lot of shading and reshaping of her face, and lightened her eyebrows and reshaped them, and just to give her a little bit more, you know, more of a shape like Amy's face, and tinting her lips. So it's things that I want people to just think, oh, what did they do? To, you know, but it is a lot of work to get that no makeup look, but just realism. There was a lot of flecking and skin damage and sunburns, and on young Camille and on Natalie Keene, we did, you know, freckles on their faces, and just little details, again, just to kind of the realism. We did razor burn, you know, on Detective Willis a lot, and Vickery, and just these little things that really happen. naturally in real life, but we're putting them there to make the audience feel closer to these characters.
Yeah, it's those little things that I think that with a show like this one, which is so much based in reality, a kind of reality, I should say, there's all these little kinds of personal details that I think can get overlooked sometimes, that you have to provide. The other interesting thing about it is, even though it's behind the times, I mean, there's this sort of old Southern gentility to it, I think especially kind of like the Patricia Clarkson character sort of expresses that a lot. Can you talk a bit about capturing that?
Yeah, Patty was amazing. We had a lot of fun with her character. We used a lot of really sharpness to her makeup. It was minimal, but we wanted her skin to be very pale. Just make you a little uncomfortable when she walked in the room, almost like, I don't know, a little see-through, her skin, but it was perfect. And she was proper, and she always had her lipstick on, and we used these like bright pinks and fuchsias, because she was very ladylike, and like you said, very, very, little old-fashioned vibe, a little Southern, but a little bit also like an ice queen. I mean, that scene when she tells Camille, "I never loved you." It's just like you feel that, as part of her look and her nails. We ended up I tested a bunch of different things, but we ended up doing acrylic sculptures on her nails to just kind of bring them out and make them a little bit more claw-like. And we did a muted pink in the beginning of the series, and then up until Calhoun, when she walks down the steps in that amazing dress by Alex Friedberg, the costume designer, and that hat, and that bright lipstick and those nails. And then we changed her nail color at that point, and then she kept that for the rest of the series.
That's so interesting. I mean, I always love hearing about those little kind of visual progressions that people do. I mean, they're those kind of subtle things that you might not notice the first time, but when you go back and rewatch a series or a film again, you say, "Oh, I see what they did there." Now, as I mentioned, I mean, you did not design the looks for Amy Adams' character. That was designed by Kate Biscoe. I'm curious how you work with somebody like that to make sure that there's a consistent look, that she doesn't stick out too much from the rest of the characters.
So this show was I loved our team on this show. Everybody from Kate, who's a personal to Amy Adams, to the special effects department, Adrian Moreau and Mark Garbarino were the effects department, and we all just worked as one big team. It's like there was no weirdness or divide between us. Amy wanted to be in the main trailer. Kate wanted to be in the main trailer. Amy was right in the middle of all the other cast members. We all worked together. So there was very much a team vibe, and I think that very much contributed to, I think, the success and the popularity of the show. And Kate and I, even though she designed all of Amy's looks, she did an amazing job. We worked together quite often, and it was like, "Hey, what are you using? What are you using? Oh, when we were designing Emma's sick look and Marion's sick look, what are you using?" Well, okay, and we wanted it to be cohesive, because this is, again, the Adora is poisoning everybody with her same potion. So we very much worked as a team and collaborated and did tests in the trailer, and what do you think? And okay, we want it to look consistent, especially in the last episode when we have that, whole 24-hour period of the girls being poisoned. It needed to have a cohesive look.
I'm curious, when you do something like that, the poisoning, for instance, do you do some kind of research in order to figure out the appropriate look for something like that so that you get it spot on? Or, I mean, how do you come up with that?
A little bit. Yeah, I did a little bit of, research, but again, there's, a realism to it that I wanted people to believe. And so we just started testing things. We just started taking down skin tones, marbling the skin, working around the eyes. Again, just wanted to make the audience feel uncomfortable and believe it. And I also didn't, I don't do makeup where I don't like it to be it's too much or too obvious. Again, I wanted people to just feel it, like, oh, something's a little off, or she doesn't look too good. And again, these women were functioning. Emma was downstairs at the dinner table, and so I was reading a lot of medical research about what would happen inside your body, and then we kind of interpreted that as how it would look on the outside.
Okay, interesting. So you previously worked with Jean-Marc Vallée on Big Little Lies. Can you talk a bit about what that collaboration is like, and I'm how it maybe changed from when you guys were doing Big Little Lies to you're doing this? I mean, how did you kind of grow more simpatico?
Yeah, I had worked with Jean-Marc Vallée on Big Little Lies season 1 a little bit. Steve Artmont was the makeup department of season 1, and I had worked with the team. So I had gotten a little taste of Jean-Marc and his shooting style, his lighting style. But Big Little Lies was dark. It was a dark show, but in a different way than Sharp Objects was. Sharp Objects was gritty, and these were characters that we were making sweaty and dirty and uncomfortable. So it was a great challenge for me to switch gears from something like that to Sharp Objects, but it wasn't that much of a leap where I didn't know where to go. It was more, I think the lighting was a really big challenge for me in the beginning. I have learned to love practical lighting, and especially with my makeup style. But in the beginning, it's tough because you don't know, okay, the lighting, you're going into a set, but there's no lights put up. It's the hallway light or the kitchen light. And so my team and myself and Kate, everybody just had to be ready on set to pump it up or pump it down, or add more warmth or more cool to make it pop on screen. So I'd say that was one of the biggest challenges in the beginning, was kind of conquering how to navigate around that.
Well, you did jump up to makeup department head on season 2 of Big Little Lies. Could you talk just a bit about the experience of working on that? And I mean, having served on the show in another capacity, how was it, going and leading the charge on season 2?
It was an amazing experience. It was everybody from producers, all the actors, the makeup team, the costume designer was Alex Friedberg again. She was costume designer for season 1 of Big Little Lies and Sharp Objects, so we had a great relationship. Jose Zamora was hair department, so it really felt like I was going back to family, and everybody just worked together. It was a great experience. I was very fortunate to have an extremely large makeup team on Big Little Lies season 2, so had all the support in the world, and Jean-Marc and Steve Artmont, the makeup department head of season 1, did a beautiful job of establishing these characters and the vibe of the show already. So it was really a wonderful experience for me to step in and head that.
And what are you working on now? Anything you can tell us about?
I can't really say yet, but I am in prep for a mini series.
Okay, that's I think you kept that vague enough. Well, I guess last question: are you excited to go to the Emmys?
I'm so excited. I am a little bit of an old-fashioned gal. I love to dress up and, put on a proper pair of high heels. So I'm very excited. I'm so proud of my team and everyone who got nominated, and it's a very special moment for for all of us. So I'm very excited to just be honored and nominated among all the other shows that are nominated with me.
Are you going to be doing your own makeup design for the night, or have you hired somebody an outside artist?
So it's too much pressure. I think I've already spoken to one of my friends who I adore, and she's a fantastic makeup artist. Her name's Kristen Durante, and so I've already spoken to her and asked her if she would help me out for the night, so my hand doesn't shake.
I've always wondered how makeup artists and designers go about doing those things. I mean, do they have?
I mean, everyone's just a person at the end of the day, you know, and it's nice just to be able to sit there and be on the other side.
Yeah. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on your nomination. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thanks to all you at home for watching. Make sure you click the like and subscribe button below, and make sure you visit us at goldderby.com for all the latest Emmy news.